know that I haven't been who I was.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a weekly vlog. I tried to do a weekly vlog last week and utterly failed. So we're going to try it this week and hopefully we'll do a little bit better with our recording schedule. So it is Monday. I have gone to work. I've come home, decompressed, and now we need to talk about the books that I read and where I'm at so we can kind of keep track of this week's reading and kind of see how much I actually read realistically now that I'm back in the swing of working full time at the office. I am currently in the middle of 3 books, but I have a method to my madness when it comes to my 3 books. So I am currently reading or doing a reread of Mistborn. I am not physically reading the book though. I have this on Audible. So this has been my go-to. I'm going to listen to in my car to and from work. And then also if I'm driving around to, different things around town and I don't have my kids in the car because they don't like listening to my audiobooks. If they're not in the car, then I'll listen to it. So I am, let me tell you how far on Audible where I'm at. So I am about 11 hours and 45 minutes into the book and there's 12 hours and 53 minutes left. So I'm a little shy of 50% through Mistborn. Then I have Quicksilver. I'm actually reading Quicksilver on my Kindle. So this is the book that I'll throw in my purse and I will read this while I'm at carpool or if I'm at an appointment or getting my nails done. I have a really bad glare and I'm very sorry if that's off. This is what I keep in my purse so that way I can easily read this anywhere I'm at. I am currently not very far into this book. I'm only 7% into the book. I cannot wait to get through with it. It is a huge book though, and I'm really hoping it's going to be as good as I am anticipating it being. And then the last book that I have is Great Big Beautiful Life. This is the new Emily Henry book. This is the physical book. So I read my physical book primarily. This is at night in bed when I'm I have plenty of room to lounge around. I have my blanket. I have enough room that I can open my book and read it comfortably. So I am on chapter 5, page 40 in Great Big Beautiful Life. I have not obviously read very much of either one of these 2 books, but I'm really hoping that this week I'll be able to take a big chunk in all 3 of the books. Honestly, I'm hoping I'll be able to get a lot of the audiobook listened to on my to and from work. Quicksilver I'll be able to do during all of my carpool visits, and then I'll be able to do this every night before bed. So I'm really hoping I'll be able to get a bunch of reading done this week. But that is where I am starting. I am super excited to see how much I get to read for this week. This is going to be very realistic. I'm not going to do anything extra. I'm not going to try to plan any extra time that I normally would to read. And so this is going to be realistically what I do for my reading. So it is 8:45. I'm going to start reading A Great Big Beautiful Life because it is time for everybody to get in their allotted bedtime areas and also to give mommy a break. So we're going to do that now and we'll see what I'm thinking about A Great Big Beautiful Life as I am reading it tonight.
I hope there's some way I can make it alright, 'cause I know that you deserve much more than this.
As you said, Renew has to do something with all of the weapons and supplies he's been gathering. Walking over together with Moses, then cocked her head and began to move among the workers listening. Is that a good enough reason to let them get you killed? Rian's voice asked. Vin paused. She had been hearing his whispers in her mind less frequently lately, but they were still there. Rian's teachings, drilled into her over 16 years of life, could not be idly discarded.
Pause. Okay, I'm done for the day, and I don't know how busy I'm going to be this afternoon, so I thought I would just do a quick check-in on my way to carpool. Let me shut this because it is blaring hot. It is Tuesday at 3:08 p.m. and I am on my way to pick up my daughter and her friends at carpool. And I will say I had a much better day today at work than I did yesterday. Granted, I was in training all day, so I mean, I didn't have a lot of actual work being done or emails coming through, but I was at work. But it wasn't bad. For reading, I did do some reading last night. I read Great Big Beautiful Life. I think I'm only at like page 70. My eyes got really tired really early last night. I think I ended up going to bed at like 11:30. And I normally stay awake till like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm a habitual 5 hour a night sleeper. That's just my natural sleeping rhythm. I go to sleep at 1, I wake up at 6 on the weekdays, and that's just how I work. And so, but last night, I don't know what it was, my eyes just got so exhausted, and I ended up going to sleep at 11:30. So I have a fly in here. So I only read about 30 pages last night. This fly is gonna piss me off. This morning on the way into work, I was listening to Mistborn again. I am now at 12 hours and 49 minutes. And I have in my bag for today, as soon as I get to the school, I will be reading on my Kindle Quicksilver. So that is where I am so far at 3:14 p.m. on a Tuesday. I am going to finish driving to school. I am hopefully, as soon as I get to the stoplight, I'm going to open my windows to make this fly away. And I'm gonna be listening to Mistborn. I'm going to cut this video here now that I'm at a stop sign, roll down my windows, let this fly out, and then continue listening to Mistborn. Okay, I just got home from work and I got a notification while I was at work about something very exciting being delivered and unexpectedly being delivered to my house today. So I am home. I immediately came upstairs after I got this package from Barnes & Noble, and I was not expecting this. It should not be here. As far as I'm aware, it should not be here today. It should not be here for another 10 days. I don't know if I got lucky or something fell through the cracks, but give me my book. This should not be in my hands. This should not be in my hands. And I'm not mad about it. Look at what got delivered. 14 days. I think earlier than it's supposed to. This is not supposed to be released until the 20th. It is May 6th. I don't know how that happened. I am so excited. This was supposed to be read on my Kindle the day it gets released, because I didn't expect, because I pre-ordered this obviously, I was expecting to read this a couple of days after it got released, because although I pre-order it, it's always delivered a couple of days later. I did not expect it to be delivered 10 days ahead of time. So this is about to be started immediately after I get done with working out, but this will be a automatic start reading because I have been waiting for Rio's book and I can't believe it's here. How did this happen? It's been a long day and I feel like I look like it. I feel like I appear like it's been a long day, but that's okay. It is 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday and everyone is in their beds going to sleep or already asleep. And it is quiet time for me, my favorite time of the day. And yeah, so let's quickly talk about work. So work was better. Still training all day, unfortunately. Also, my work is really crazy lately. With everything going on in the like political climate, my budget, or my program's budget, has been basically scrapped and built up again with all new stuff for the next fiscal year and fiscal years going out. And it's been crazy because things that we previously were doing historically in prior fiscal years, missions have changed, things have been updated, and no one really knows what's happening. Plus, with all the federal workers getting out early and retiring early, and they have the delayed resignation program that people had already elected into, and they're going through all of their like out processing and all that kind of stuff. There's just so much turmoil at my job. I just show up and I just take things as they come, because the previous like plan of going into work, I'm doing X, Y, and Z today, like scheduled plan of action, my light died. But that's okay. You're going to have to deal without it because I can't charge it right now. But the plan of action that I was used to just is not there anymore. And so it's a little crazy. And yeah, makes things interesting, I guess. But I don't honestly like it. I like knowing what I'm doing, who I'm talking to, what the plan is. I'm a very organized, regimented personality, type A, and I don't do well with unknowns and like flying by the seat of my pants. But that's kind of where I've been for the last couple of months, and that's kind of where I foresee me going for the next several months to come. But that's okay. So that was work. Did my training, had stuff that happened today, but it's the end of the day. I'm not worried about work anymore. I'll worry about it tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and we'll stress about it then, potentially. But now we're going to talk about reading. So I did end up listening to Mistborn more to and from work today. That's my normal car riding audiobook right now. I think now I am like 10 hours remaining, 9 hours remaining. Question of the video. This just came to me. If you listen to audiobooks, what speed is your go-to speed? I currently have Mistborn on either 1.5 or 1.7. But I think tomorrow morning I'm going to bump it up. So if it's 1.5 right now, I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to 1.7. But if it's at 1.7, I'm going to try to bump it up to 2 to see how it is. Because now that I've been in the book long enough, I know names, I know what's going on. Like, I think the faster speed won't be an issue for me. When at the very beginning of a book and I'm trying to learn the plot and the characters and what's going on and who's who and all of that, I can't go super, super fast in my audiobook. I usually, the fastest I can go at the beginning of a book is 1.5. Normally it's like 1.25. And then once I get into the book, I slowly increase my speed. So I think tomorrow morning I'm going to increase it to either 1.7 or 2, depending on where my book is right now. So that way I can try to knock it out as fast as I can. So that's where we are in the audiobook. I did end up reading some Quicksilver last night a little bit. I'm still, I think, only about 17% into that book. Not really, really far. But I will be reading it tomorrow because I have carpool on Thursday, and also I have carpool on Friday. So I will be reading during both of those times. But last night, I did end up starting Rewind It Back. And I read a little bit again today. I'm on page 69, which is chapter 7. This book has been good so far. It does have past present timeline. You do find out, you go back to when Rio and Hallie first meet when they're age 12, they're neighbors. And as the past timeline kind of progresses, it's going to go up in years, and something happened. There was a falling out when they were dating, I'm assuming, and ever since then, for like 6 years, they have not spoken. Rio does not like her, even though he loved her previously. she has avoided Rio at all costs. Even though she lives in Chicago, she avoids the stadium. She avoids anything that Rio might be doing so she does not inadvertently run into him. So there's a lot of tension between them in the present because something happened in the past. The romance hasn't started. It's still very tension based in the present. And you haven't seen the romance pick up in the past yet. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get into that and be able to see a little bit more of Rio's true personality, because right now he's just upset and angry. And I want the fun, sweet Rio that I've seen in past books. So that's where I am in Rewind It Back. And it is really good. I'm excited to see how this progresses. But that is going to be it for Wednesday. I am going to continue to read for the next, hopefully, couple of hours. I'm going to read some more of Rewind It Back. I'm really hoping I'll be able to get to about page 150, maybe. This book is, how many pages? 439. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get to like 150, so I could try to get this knocked out. Or even longer. I would love to be able to get to like page 200. I would love to be able to get to 50% through this book. I know once it picks up, I'm going to be very difficult for me to put it back down, and I'm excited. So that's where we are. I'm going to go charge my light, so hopefully tomorrow I'll have better lighting, and then we're going to do some reading for the rest of the day. So that's going to be it for Wednesday, and now we're going to do some reading. Whew. Okay. Welcome to Thursday night. Wow, I feel like I can't hear anymore. Been wearing my headphones for a while now, listening to Mistborn on Audible while I did the dishes for tonight, and then I folded a bunch of laundry, and now I'm up here in my office about to update my Hobonichi Cousin, my planner, for today's journal entry. And then the plan is to read some of Rewind It Back. So, but for today, I went to work. I had my third and last day of training. Thank goodness. I had to keep dropping out of my training classes because I had meetings that were conflicting with my trainings, and my meetings were more important than leadership training. So I was busy but not busy today. So that's kind of where my work was. And then I came home, and that's pretty much been my day so far. I came home and been doing just random stuff. I helped my oldest learn about World War II. She has a test tomorrow, so I was going through her slides and quizzing her and kind of giving her some little things that could help her like memorize or have things, important people and places and things, and things like that stick in her brain a little bit easier. So I did that for several hours, and now everybody is in bed, and I am upstairs in my happy place, which is very exciting. So that has been my day. Reading wise, let's talk about where I'm at now. So like I said, it is Thursday night, and on Mistborn, I am 17 hours and 59 minutes into the book. I have 6 hours and 36 minutes left. I think yesterday I said I might try to bump it up, the speed, but I'm currently at 1.7, and when I go to two times speed, I feel like it's too fast for me. I don't like it. 1.7 is like my sweet spot when it comes to audiobooks, so I'm going to keep it at 1.7, and I'll just have to try to knock out the rest of the book. My goal is, with me going into work tomorrow, to and from work, I'm going to try to listen to it a couple of times tomorrow after work, and I would love to be able to have this audiobook done by the weekend. So by the end of Sunday, I would like to have Mistborn done. So starting Monday, I can start fresh with either Scythe and Sparrow or A Fragile Enchantment. So that's kind of my goal. I really want to get Mistborn done by Sunday night. So that's where I'm at in Mistborn. I did end up reading some of Quicksilver in the car today when I was at carpool. I'm still not very far into it. I'm only on page 79. So far it's going well. I don't know anything that's about to happen. I have not met Kingfisher, I think. Or I think I met him, but I have not yet seen the FMC talk to him yet. So she just now got into the Fae realm. And that's where I'm at. So not very far, but I'm hoping I'll be able to pick this up once this is done. So we have Quicksilver, My Great Big Beautiful Life. I have not picked up at all because everything other than Mistborn, this has been my number one focus. So I did end up reading a bunch last night. I am right at 50%. I got to page 223, which is chapter 21. And I am really liking it. I still think I like Isaiah Rhodes much better. He is my favorite so far of the Windy City series. But the problem that I had early on with Rio in this book is Rio has a lot of anger and frustration and bitterness when it comes to Hallie because of something that happened in the past. And so when Hallie shows up in the present, he's not the fun, sweet, lovable, MMC that you see when he's around the other characters from the Windy City series. It's just not the same personality. And so I did not like that. I didn't like the bitterness. I didn't really like his grumpiness because I wanted the sweet Rio that I've seen in other books. So I didn't really like that at the very beginning, but now sweet Rio is coming out and the little things that he's doing is really getting more into the Rio that I was excited to read about. So this is going well. Yeah. So I'm hoping that tonight I'll be able to, I'm not going to be able to finish this book because right now it is 10:50 and because I work tomorrow, I do want to try to go to bed between midnight and 1 a.m. So that's only a couple of hours and I just cannot read 200 pages in 2 hours. I'm not that fast of a reader. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get to maybe 75% of this book. So maybe I can get to like page 300, 325, something like that. So I can get like about 100 pages in and then I can read the last 100 pages tomorrow, potentially. That would be my favorite. That would be my goal. So now I am going to go ahead and just update a little bit in my planner. And then I'm going to jump right into this. So that is the plan for the rest of the night. And then we will see what happens on Friday. So we're going to do that now. And hopefully I really like how this book goes. Now on to my planner and reading for the rest of the night. Okay, it is Saturday. It is 2 p.m. and let's do a little reading check-in. I did not do a whole lot yesterday. So last night I did not record anything except for me reading a little bit of Rewind It Back. I am now at about 75% into the book. I'm on chapter 34, which is page 340. There is a total of 440-ish pages, so I am about 100 pages from finishing this book, and it is going very well. Definitely probably not going to be a 5-star read. It's going to be more of a 4.5, 4.75 type book. And it's not that I don't like the book. It's just I'm not as connected to Rio and Hallie as I thought I was going to be. I feel like when you saw Rio in other books, I feel like his personality and his like funniness and his silliness and his sweetness was much more prevalent than it is in his own book. And I know at the very beginning he's trying to overcome some feelings in his what he thinks happened in the past and how Hallie's actions and what happened when they were both 19, how it affected his personality currently. I understand that. And he's hurt and he's got some confusing feelings and things like that. But now that he's kind of over it, I do like Rio, but my thoughts on how much I was going to like this book is not as, I'm not feeling what I thought I was going to feel. And honestly, I feel like that's the case with a lot of really anticipated new releases, is in your brain, you have it really, really high as you're like, how you think this book is going to go. Like, you just think it's going to be amazing. And then when you get into the book, sometimes that's not the case. And so you kind of feel defeated, and it sometimes can alter your ranking of the book. So it could be also that is, I just came off of reading Isaiah and Kennedy's book, and Isaiah was my absolute favorite MMC in the Windy City series. And I feel like coming off of that high and then highly anticipating this book coming out with Ria, with another character that I thought I was really going to enjoy, I feel like it kind of gave me too high of a anticipated, like, I feel like my thoughts were way too high, honestly. And I feel like if I would have come into this not as anticipating such a good book, I feel like I would like it more. If that makes sense. I really don't know. I'm rambling. That's kind of where I'm at in my head right now. So I'm 75% into this book now. I do plan on finishing it today, and I'm excited to see how this finishes up. And then yesterday, I did finish Mistborn on Audible. So I did really enjoy this. I ended up giving this a 4.25. I am unsure if I'm going to continue the series because it took me literal forever to do a reread on this, but I am curious to see what's going to happen in the series. I have not read book 2. I think this is a trilogy. I have not read the next book of the series. And I know Brandon Sanderson's books get really big and long and has a lot of politics and stuff in it. So I may end up wanting to dive into the second book of the Mistborn trilogy. I don't remember what it's actually called. I don't know what this actual trilogy is called. But The Final Empire. No, Mistborn, The Final Empire. I don't know what the series is called, honestly. What is this series called? I don't remember. But I may end up picking this up later, or maybe this might be something I dive into 2026. I do have a lot of books that I need to read in 2025. So maybe I'll make this trilogy a part of my 2026 TBR, possibly. But I did finish it. I'm very glad I finally finished it. Yeah, I can finally check that box off. And then I have been reading Quicksilver. This has been what I was reading on my Kindle. I believe I am on, hold on. I don't remember how far I am in this book. I'm not far. I think I'm still like less than 15% into this book. But hopefully once I finish Rewind It Back, I'll start making this my focal point to try to get this book done, because look at how thick this thing is. This book is so massive. I mean, it's 600 pages almost, if not over 600. It's like 608 pages, 609 pages. So this will be my focal point once I get finished with Rewind It Back. So we have this one. And then I have not even opened any more of A Great Big Beautiful Life because Rewind It Back has been my focal point. So this will be hopefully read very soon, but I don't have any comments on it right now because I haven't read it in several days. And that's where I'm at for reading. So for today, for Saturday, I have no plans on doing anything but some YouTube videos, some editing. I have to pick up my daughter from her work very soon. It is raining today. I did want to try to clean out the inside of my car, like vacuum it and like dust it and things like that. But I don't know if I'll be able to do that today. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'm not sure. And then I do want to just do some vacuuming just to kind of get some of the dog fur off of my carpets. And that's it. So that is the check-in for today. And hopefully tomorrow will be my last video day. And we'll kind of do a wrap up at the end of the night of how many pages I read during this full week of me working and how many pages I've been able to read as a full-time employee and kind of a realistic view of what I read during the week. So that's going to be it. I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to start editing and then doing some reading in just a little bit. Okay, it is Sunday. It is Mother's Day. And I've literally done nothing today. So I got to sleep in until 11:30 because that is literally my favorite thing to do. And since I've had kids, sleeping in has not really happened very often, or I should say as long as I would like. I'll sleep in until like 9 on the weekends, but then I overhear my kids and I hear commotion and all that kind of stuff. So I don't get to sleep in until like lunchtime like I would typically like, especially because last night I stayed awake until about 2 o'clock finishing Rewind It Back. So the extra hours of sleep this morning was greatly appreciated. So as I'm holding up this book, I'll go ahead and tell you I ended up giving this a 4.5 and I did enjoy it. The reason why I didn't score it higher than a 4.5 is I don't know what it was. I just didn't connect with Rio and Hallie as much as I was hoping. And I don't know if it was because of the anticipation that I was going to like this book so much and I didn't, and that's what threw it off. But there was just something that made me not connect with the two characters as much as I really would like to, and so I couldn't give it anything higher than a 4.5. I did enjoy the story. So this is a second chance romance, friends to lovers type trope, and it does have past present timeline. And it was overall, the story was good, the plot was good, the vibe was good, everything was good. I just couldn't connect with the characters, which was upsetting. That's where I am with Rewind It Back. 4.5, really good book. I'm so glad I finally got to read it. I'm so glad I got to read it early. And yeah, I just got interrupted, so I don't know what I was talking about, but I think what I was talking about was the side characters. And I'm curious to see what the next series is going to be out of Liz Tom Ford, because Monty does have the next book. That is a given. It's in the back of this book. So I know that's coming out. But I'm curious if, I think it's the Cruz brothers. They are brothers of the side character that you find in this book. And I'm curious if she's going to take it into that realm, because it sounds like one of the brothers is a basketball player and one of them is a baseball player. So maybe those will be future series. Unsure. But this was a 4.5. Really did enjoy Rio and Hallie's story. I just didn't connect as much as I was really hoping for with their actual characters. So yay, finally got this done. And now that I have read this is my Kindle book that I am reading. But for the physical book, I think my next thing that I'm going to try to knock out is going to be A Great Big Beautiful Life. I have not read this since I got Rewind It Back. So I am only on page 70, which is the story. There's no like chapters, I guess, in this book. But I'm on page 70 and I would really like to get this book done so I can get another book out of the way for my physical TBR. So that is the plan for today. I'm going to be reading A Great Big Beautiful Life. I am going to be heading to Walmart very shortly to go and get some groceries for the week. And then I'm going to swing by and pick up some pizza. That is my Mother's Day dinner. And I'm excited. So let me know down below, drop me a comment. If you are a mom, how important do you feel Mother's Day is? Like how much does your family go all out for you for Mother's Day? Because I feel like I'm unique. I feel like I am the odd man out when it comes to this kind of thing. So for my birthday, I don't really care. Honestly, for my birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas, anything like that, the gift that I want is to be left alone. I don't know how bad that makes me sound, but so for my 15-year-old, me and her, we get along really well. We want to go shopping together. She wants to hang out with me, which I adore. But the thing is, I have a 7-year-old about to turn 8 in a couple of months, and she is attached to my hip. If I go anywhere, if I drive to Walmart, she wants to come. If I drive to go get gas, she wants to come. If I come up here in my office, she's always wanting to sit on the couch. She wants to be with me at all times. But it's funny, when my husband's around, like when we go to eat lunch with her at school, she will immediately run straight to him and want to give him like 100 hugs during the day, obsessed. Not me, but yet she wants to be with me at all times. I don't understand it. So for birthdays, Christmas, Mother's Day, any of the above, I want to, 1, sleep in, and then 2, just be left alone. And that's all it is. And then for like my dinners, it's usually let's go get Mexican, or let's go have some pizza or barbecue. I don't want a big deal. I don't want to go all out. I don't like that. And I think what it is I don't like attention be drawn to me. Like when I got married, I did not even want to have a wedding. I wanted to go to the courthouse and get the paperwork signed and be done with it. I don't like people focusing on me. And I think that's the problem. Even though it's my family, and when I got married with my family and my friends, I don't like the attention being on me. Which is kind of funny because I'm doing videos that I want people to see. But I don't know if you see me, honestly. So I think that's the thing. But regardless, let me know down below. Are you a huge like celebration when it comes to birthdays, Mother's Days, Father's Days, whatever the case may be? Do you go all out? Because I do not. And I feel sometimes like I'm very weird about that. Like my oldest spent the night last night at her friend's house, and I don't care. Sure, go spend the night at your friend's house. If her family doesn't mind, fine. And I haven't seen her all day. It is 4:30 almost in the afternoon, and I have not seen her. She did text me Happy Mother's Day, but I'm okay with that. And I know some people wouldn't be. So, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. But with that being said, I'm going to run to Walmart really fast, go get groceries, go and pick up some pizza on the way home. I am also, for reading, my audiobook is going to be A Fragile Enchantment, because on Libby I was able to get it downloaded, and so this is what I'm going to be listening to in my car now that I am finished with Mistborn. And so this one it says it's 14 hours on 1.5 speed. I might end up making it bumped up to like 1.7 as the story goes on. Usually I start my speed pretty low at the very beginning, and then I build it up as like I learn the story and the characters and names and all that kind of stuff. But that's the audiobook I'll be listening to in my car on the way to Walmart, on the way to work, on the way back from work for the next several days, so I can try to get that book out of the way. So I'm going to do some errands, read my book, and wrap up the rest of my Mother's Day. And I'll check in tomorrow morning and let you know what my reading count was for this week, so we can kind of see how many pages and hours of audiobook I listened to for a typical work week, so we can wrap up this weekly vlog. Okay, it's Monday night. It's the end of this weekly vlog, and we gotta do a little wrap up. So last night was Sunday. It was Mother's Day, and I was able to spend about a couple hours reading A Great Big Beautiful Life. I do not read with the dust jacket on. That just does not happen. And I am about that far in. I'm on page 156, and it's going okay. So I have some reservations, and I don't know how this book is going to go. So a couple of the reservations. I have not had a good track record when it comes to Emily Henry books. So I have Emily Henry books on my shelf right now. I have Book Lovers, which I have not read. I just bought it at Target just recently. I wanted to read that. I have read Beach Read, which I did like. I read Funny Story, which I did like. Happy Place, I did not like that one. I didn't get the hype on why everybody liked that book. Maybe I need to... So I have a feeling a lot of these books are going to be reread, because I need to know, now that I know the stories for each of these books, when I do a reread, if my thoughts change. But when I read Happy Place, didn't really care for it. I think I gave it like a 3-star. I think I gave it like a really high 4-star, and then I realized that was all hype in that book when it first came out. And I did not feel it was a 4-star. It was definitely a 3-star. And then People We Meet on Vacation, again, another 3-star. Didn't really care for it. And I have a feeling this one's going to be a 3-star as well. So not my favorite author. I need to just realize this is not going to be the author probably I need to buy physical books for. Like, I'm going to keep the books that I have because I don't dislike them, but I don't like them enough to feel like I need to buy every book that she writes. I have a feeling this is going to be going forward an author that I read either through the library, or if it's ever on Kindle Unlimited or Libby, I read it that way. I need to realize this might not be an author that I need to physically buy. So I already have that. I don't think I like Emily Henry books. Just personal preference. I know people love her. She just isn't my cup of tea, I think. And then specifically with this book, it has apparently the least amount of romance, and it has essentially 3 main characters. You have the FMC, the MMC, and then you have Margaret, who they're like the FMC and the MMC are writing the book on. So you get her story, and nothing has really happened, honestly. Like, the FMC and the MMC, they had a couple of like, I like you type moments, but then the MMC pulled back for some weird reason. And so nothing really has happened. You've learned a little bit about Margaret and her life, but that's pretty much it. So it's not going great. And yeah, it's where I'm at on A Great Big Beautiful Life. So, but now that I have read, that's what I read on Sunday, let's do a quick wrap up of everything that I did during this week. So I have my handy dandy little iPad, and I'm going to go to Storygraph, because Storygraph, I do log, sorry for the glare, I do log on here every day my like starting and stopping pages or times on my audiobook. So I have a track of every single day how many pages or how many hours I've read. And so I have this little graphic that will tell me what I did each day. I will put somewhere on the screen the grand total for this week on how many pages I read and how many minutes I listened to an audiobook. And that's what this week was able to do. So that was me going to work full time, going to work on site, having appointments, having meetings, having things in my personal life after work that I tried to schedule in some reading time with, and that's what I was able to do. So that is the end of this weekly video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please make sure you do so. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see everybody in my next video. Bye.